Thanks.
All right. So can you see where the water sort of changes color? You have bands of color. You have the ocean out there, then the rolling waves here, then another smooth area, then more rolling waves, and another smooth area, and then the retracing water here. All right. So what I want to do is get another clone. So Alt and click to make a selection of the area that I want to clone. I'm essentially taking the pixels that I've cloned here and placing them down over the image. So let's go again. So Alt. Second. All right. So Alt, click to clone an area. And then I'm going to just put the pixels down where I want them. Now again, I'm going to continue down. Look at what happens there. Oh, it's pretty similar. That works. Okay, I'll continue going. All right. Edge of the water works pretty similar. All right. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Now, what I want to do is, because the sand changes angle and it's sort of going on a downward slope, well, perceivably here, I want to take another sample right around here so that I can get the same angle flowing across here. And notice the angle sort of affects the other areas, right? So take a smaller brush to just fix up that top part. It's almost invisible, but I can see it, so. All right, so that's basically the clone stamp. So again, to reiterate, we started with this image and we ended up with this. Let's take it one more time. This time we're going to do a different object. So this one, we remove the girl. What object you guys want to remove this time? Let's duplicate our background layer again. Let's remove a different object. Somebody identify an object or person in that image that we're going to remove. Want to do the baby?
Finally, the blue shirt.
What's that?
The blue shirt, but I'm blue.
You mind the blue shirt there?
Yeah.
Okay, you're giving me a challenge. I like that. But you have to consider two things. What are the two things we have to consider?
I'm not sure what you're doing, so I just try and follow up as late.
You're not sure what I'm doing. Okay, well, what
you're in somebody's hand.
Tell me.
In the picture, you're in somebody's hand.
Right. In the picture, the person in the blue shirt is actually holding somebody's hand. Right? Right there. It'll sort of work because, well.
Let's say you have a man at the back. You need a piece to add.
Right. To so that is the second thing. Now, wait. What you say? I need a piece to add to the man?
Well, so if you remove the
man will look incomplete.
Yeah.
The man will look incomplete. So what's the solution?
Take him off too?
We have to remove them both.
Yeah.
Either that or we have to find some other way to cover up the parts of him that are going to be missing. Because we have no idea what the pixels that is behind the lady in the blue shirt would actually look like. Right? And we don't want to represent anybody wrong. So we're going to have to remove this entire thing right here. Everybody good with that? Let's see what we can do.
But so if somebody zoom in on the man's hand, they will check like look how he's looking like that.
They will say what?
If somebody zoom in on the image and you remove them two persons and they look at his hand, it don't look different.
You sure about that? First of all, that image is not off. That image doesn't have enough quality for you to see any detail in the hand. All right. Second of all, if we do it right, if we do it just right, I think it can look like just a man walking on the water, swinging his hands in a Macho Man style, and it'll pass. It wouldn't be a perfect edit, but it'll pass.
Okay, sir.
All right. So let's attempt to do that. We want to first find an area where we can get a proper sample. Right. So I'm selecting my clone stamp again, and the shortcut for clone stamp is S. I'm just press the S key and I will select the clone stamp tool. And I want to take a sample. Give me a quick second, please. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so I'm going to take a sample of this big patch of water here because it'll allow me to get all of this area. Hold on, let me show you. If I get a sample of this area of water, right, it'll actually allow me to get all of this area without too much problem. And I might be able to get down here as well. All right, up there, I might have to do something else, but let's see how it works. Select the clone stamp tool. I'm going to make a selection, Alt and click. Then I move across. I try and find, I can see a preview of what the pixels I'm going to place down will look like. And I want to try and make it blend. You can see sort of lines where the water is flowing, the natural lines of the image. You want to follow them.
That's all right.
Right? And just go across and rebuild the pixels in as I see fit. Now, what we're doing is not putting the actual pixels that are there. We're just recreating it as we think it should look. So in other words, if two people are given that same project to do, quite conceivably, we're going to get two completely different looking results. They should just represent removing the objects that we want to get removed. Everybody understand that?
So, but when you did it, the other lady, you passed the brush over the sand as well, and to me, the sand didn't change at all.
The sand didn't change?
The water. Yeah.
Hold on. The sand here didn't change? Look at the sand.
When I saw you,
look at the sand well. Did it not change?
I think he select the sun, and he pass it, he pass the brush away.
It's not really select. Hold on, let me show you. Hold on.
like when you edit out the legs.
Okay, hold on. Let me try. Do you understand what this option does? The aligned option?
I'm not 100%.
No.
I know what it means in general.
Right, so
but
let me show you using that little girl with the bright red suit here. If I click Alt and I sample the center of her bathing suit right here, the red polka dot, right? You see the red polka dot in my brush? Let me make a bigger brush. You see the red polka dot as the center of my brush, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. I'm going to click and drag. Do you see the cursor where the centerpiece is?
Yeah.
All right. Look at the cursor as I move my mouse. The little crosshair.
So it follows like the entire object in a sense.
It is aligned. It is the selected area that you sample is aligned with the brush. So when you first select where you want to put on the first sample, if you move your brush up 5 pixels, the sample area is going to move up 5 pixels. All right. If you move your brush to the right 10 pixels, the sample area is going to move to the right 10 pixels.
So what if you don't align it then?
Right. If you don't align it, I'm going to again take a fresh sample of this girl, the red polka dots. This time I'm going to move it to this side, right? Now, here's what will happen if you don't align. I'm going to click once. I'm going to press and hold and just paint with the button pressed. And what happens, you notice it still follows it, right? Right?
Yeah.
But now if I release the mouse and I go somewhere completely different, look at this again. It starts back from my original location. I'm going to go somewhere completely different and paint again. So this is not aligned. It always goes back to your original sample location to begin placing the pixels. Does that make sense?
So the align follows like the distance.
The align option makes the sample area follow the tool. So in other words, if I sample the young child's head, right, and I click here to place down the first set of pixels, right? If I move across, say, approximately this amount to the left and this amount to the top, with it aligned, right? This amount to the left and this amount to the top, you can see I am seeing the little boys in the background. Yes? Are you guys seeing that? The little boys here, showing up where my brush is wanting to place them down here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If I remove aligned, notice if I place her down here, everywhere I move, all I'm getting is the area that I have sampled, which is just her face. If I remove aligned, sorry, if I put back aligned, then you can see the sample moves based on where my clone stamp tool moves. You guys get that?
Yeah.
You still have any understand?
Not quite, but
I think it needs a little playing around with to
yeah.
fully grasp or something.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can explain it slightly differently. So let me find a different image. All right. So let's use this image, and because it's simpler, so we can see exactly what's happening. There's just two people on the beach, right? Now our clone stamp option is set to aligned, right? So we have aligned checked. What that means is if I clone or if I sample the young man's face, right? It's going to remember that sample, right? And anywhere I move my brush, it's going to show me what his face would look like if I place it there, right? Or if I clone it, my original sample in that location. Now with it aligned, if I click, I have the first sample. Now if I move around, you can see it showing me what area is going to be sampled when I click again. Now I have no buttons pressed currently, I'm just moving my mouse around. Right? Everybody sees that. Let me remove aligned. Now I'm moving my mouse around. Let me place his head down again. Notice I cannot see where his hands would be, where his pink shirt would be, where his blue pants would be. All it's showing me is I can put his head there, 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 I can put his head there. Because it is not aligned to the clone stamp tool. So all it is concerned about is my sample area, which is here. And it will simply put down my sample wherever I ask it to. Now, if I hold the mouse button, press and hold, and I just paint with it, it's going to paint the entire area. It's going to be aligned because that's a single click. But if I release and click again, it's not going to remember where it was. It's just going to remember the original sample because it's not aligned. Tell me you guys get it this time.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
I understand. Yeah.
All right. So since we're on that image, let's try and get that one done. And this one has different angles, so we'll see how the align works for us, right? Let's put align on, and we're going to attempt to remove, for simplicity, let's just do the boy, right? We're going to attempt to remove the boy in the image. First thing, we have a fixed line that we can see going across here. So if we don't take that line, right, the line where the waves start to roll, what we're going to see is a glitch. We're going to notice where something was removed. So I'm going to sample in the water area, which is not where I should sample, and try to patch out his head. You can see, we can see something was taken out there, right? Everybody
Yeah, we can see. Yes, sir.
So I'm going to go back. Sorry. And I'm going to take a sample of exactly on the edge of the wave here. And I want to take it on the edge of the wave. You can see it's, as I move around, it's showing me the sample area, which is the edge of the wave, right? I can place this sample area over the area that I want to cover and align it precisely to the angle or to the edge so that it looks seamless. Everybody sees what's happening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we do.
If I were to click to push down, can you tell there was a head there? Or it just looks like the wave was rolling?
Like we was really no. I like my head cut off.
Right. So there you're going to have to use sort of your artistic imagination to put pixels together in your mind to sort of imagine what the image would look like behind the object that you're removing. And then you just filling it in accordingly. Now, keep in mind, my selection or my sample is aligned, right? I'm gonna keep moving down. I'm just gonna go straight down. Look at what is happening here to me. Everybody sees that? What happened there?
You get completely like almost disappear.
Well, we sort of erased him in one area, but as we got lower down to here, notice we see a break.
Yeah.
We see a little break here where we can tell that, hey, this is first of all a repeated pattern here. So we can see the break in the smooth line in the rolling of the waves there. So we can sort of guess that something was done here, right? We also see the hand, instead of being completely removed, it sort of just pushed it back. And that's because the aligned sample, right? Let me just go back one more time. So the aligned sample, if I sample here, it will work perfectly for placing it here, right? But when I come down to here, see what I'm saying? Because the sample is following the brush, my sample is perfect here. But if I come down this amount of pixels and I go to the right, this amount of pixels, what essentially I have is his hand.
His hand, yeah. So
right? Because my original sample area was here. So if I come down this amount and I go across, what I have is his hand. So the sample actually moves along. Notice the crosshair, right? It's moving along with my clone stamp. And as I move, it's actually changing the area that it's sampling, right? Now that I get to here where the water sort of changes color, you see it changes from that deep green to a sandy brown here. I want to take another sample. I can take it closer to the edge, but let me get it more to the sand, right? And I'm filling in the sand area right now. Again, it's not a precise fill. It's what I imagine it to be. Sorry, not even what I imagine it to be, just what works right now. Okay, right now, with here, the angle is actually changing from going up and right to sort of almost going down and left, right? So I need to sample a different area. I'm gonna go to the back of the girl here and sample this area so I can get that angle. Still not perfect. Find a better area. If not, then I will have to improvise and make that line straight, even though it's not. And just in the interest of time, I'm doing that.
So for the shadows, you'll have to also align them too or move them.
For the shadows,
Yes, sir.
like that.
Yes, sir.
Well, those are more reflections than shadows, but yes, well, if I were to just keep coming down here, it would work because notice it's not on the sandy area, but I'm getting a slightly darker tone. You see, because the color of the sand is a bit darker. So what I'm gonna do is take a sample from the lighter area to cover over the dark portions. Yeah. To remove the shadow pieces or the reflection pieces there. All right. And again, I was doing a bunch of extra clicks, so you're seeing a few things, but everybody get the idea?
Yes, sir, for me.
All right.
Well, for that, I only touched on the surface. I didn't really go deep into it, you know, like.
The clone stamp? Okay.
Yeah, because if I wanted to take out, like for example, I wanted to take out a certain objects, people normally tell me, oh, they do like that telephone post there, or they do like, you know. I just go and just take it out, get rid of it. But I never go in depth.
What method would you use to get rid of it?
I was using the content and where the one that looking like a plaster.
Okay, content aware patch. All right.
Yeah.
That's fine, but I will show you where the clone stamp comes in handy.
Okay.
A little while. Right? Okay, so everybody get the clone stamp in general. We don't go back around to the clone stamp, but I want to move on to a different tool now. Okay, go back to my original image. And let us now use one of the tools that are available in the new versions of Photoshop. And that's a bit more intelligent and intuitive to use. And that is your content-aware tools, right? So let's first start with the healing brush. You know what? Let's start with the spot healing brush. All right. So the spot healing brush is probably the simplest tool that you can use to do something like that. All right. To use the content aware option, all you need to do is select it on the options bar. Notice you have options for content aware, create texture, and proximity match. You guys can experiment with them and see what will happen. All of them will essentially patch it and fill it in different ways. And depending on the image you're working with, one might work better than the other. But for today, we're going to use the content aware option. And what the content aware option is, it intelligently looks at the image and fills it in using surrounding pixels to try and do exactly what we were doing in the clone stamp. All right. And basically, we want to just click and brush over the area that we want to heal and release. That's it. That was the spot healing brush. Simple, right?
But I the most simple one I see there.
Let's do it again. We have less than a minute before our break. Let us take off this girl in the pink bathing suit. Let's see if we can get it. It may not give it to us precisely as we want, and I'll explain why.
Yes, yes, sir. That is exactly what I do.
That's what you use. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
And voila, Calicut is there. Everybody get that? I don't think we need too much explanation on that. Everybody got that, right?
No, that's straightforward.
Straightforward.
Let's take a break there. We'll come back in 5 minutes and touch the rest of them.
All right.
Yeah.